throwing in some new things as if I was Professor Mikey Yikes. Yikes. And I have a wizard's degree from community college, galactic. But I'm from the art planets where it's more casual and we try to have a good time and relax. And it's about aesthetics and style. And that makes it meaningful. It's how you love everything. Everything becomes art. And it really already is if you appreciate it right. But you make it too utilitarian and it loses its grace and magic. And you know what I'm saying with all the hard angles we got and all these harsh places in the city that aren't accommodating to human beings. We have a culture that's really perfected materialism, and that's kind of what needed to happen before we make the final pass into like whatever the next thing is. Jehovahite judgment, end of the world, heaven on earth. It's like, yeah, we've done enough ascensions. See how evolution works into this? Even if you're believing in Jehovah, there's evolution. We've come to a place of higher understanding collectively. And then the one mind, one source Buddhites, where we are all connected to this one source. Jehovah's not condemning your soul. He's trying to guide us all to a place where we can all really share the meal, man. Jehovah himself is an actual individual as big as the cosmos. What does that mean? You're actually as big as the cosmos, but it's not your cosmos. It happens to be his. It's just how it is, man. We are who we are, but it's all magic and it's all, every one of us is the center, right? So I got all metaphysical. But we're meant to work this out. So back to projects on the ground. We got all these families, they all have small businesses, we all have debts. Right now, can we collectivize our debts and then talk to the government about what everybody owes in taxes? Who would be running such a thing? I think we're talking lawyers and accountants and everything. But now we're talking magical lawyers and accountants. And they have, it's like they say, yeah, we'll collectivize all your debts and make it easier. And then you don't pay quite as much, but you're still paying us some. And that's one of the projects. Another project is you take a business right now, the people that build the hut that I live in, so they need food, they need clothing. You know, what are the other local businesses that provide all the different things people need? And just start making arrangements so people can start doing a little inside. And the idea is just fractal models of this. And there's more aspects than just the economic relationships. There's the idea that we're trying to revive meaning and community and people working together, but in a meaningful way, so that we understand it's not all about just economics. And all of this is like documented as I'm documenting it right now. I almost had a meeting with my guy downtown today, but he was busy. We sat and talked for a while. So these things are going on YouTube, but it doesn't mean I'm trying to get a podcast going. I'm still looking for people to make things happen and trying to explain how different things can happen on the ground, wherever you are. But we're going to try to make it happen where I am, right here, Tallahassee, Crawfordville. And I can get in to see Trump, I believe so, and Elon Musk as well, if I follow through on the connections that I abandoned when I dropped out of Harvard and went into art school. But then I have some credibility as an activist, as a Green Party co-chair in New Mexico in 95, 97, when we first ran Ralph Nader. Both he and Jerry Brown respect me, but of course, they're retired and old guys. But the credentials to speak to the new political dynamic where we're trying to actually see if we can't come together on something, and it's not going to be talking to each other because people hate each other, but we can do something on the ground that makes sense. And new businesses that, like in the Maha tradition, which is to me the purple, that brings high values from the left to the high values of the right, which are to be accountable, to do it on the ground, to do it with less government, to not do handouts but opportunities. And in that way, we actually make things happen on the ground in the next 3 years, and maybe by then you've got enough influence to make something happen with that in the political arena, whether it's by pulling either one of the parties towards something more reasonable. I'm working with the right wing right now because that seems to be human beings. The Democrat Party looks like committees of unaccountables, I'm sorry to say. The Republican Party, at least, it's human beings and they're all diverse, and you can't make generalizations. But the Kennedy movement is real, and things are happening on the ground. And how you do that intelligently is a good place to start.